Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Antimatter Chemistry. I have started a part-time job at a local bakery in the city center, and it's gonna be taking a little bit more of my free time that I normally had to record YouTube videos because I was unemployed previously. So basically this means that there will be a few less videos per week. I'm hoping I can still pump out possibly 3 videos per week. It's not gonna happen this week, I don't think, because I'll be working every single day until Friday, and I won't have much time. Plus, we have a very busy weekend due to some family events on my girlfriend's side. So that means that I'm gonna try and record videos in the afternoons as much as I can. Possibly it's gonna take me 2 afternoons to record one single video. So without further ado, let's just get started. In between episodes, I have been slowly getting all of these data models to self-aware, even, for example, the thermal elemental data model, and I think somewhere downstairs in the base, I should have, maybe in here, I have spawn eggs. I have a spawn, did I not get spawn eggs? I have them somewhere. Ah, here they are. I went into the dimension that I made, the one with the flat world. Basically, or no, I made another dimension, right? I made just a basic, I don't actually know what this has inside of it. I totally forgot. So I can show you here. If we extract, it has effect none, terrain normal, time midnight, and effect complete flight. This doesn't really make a difference on the, I can't fly without anything, but basically it's just a normal dimension that ran a normal world, and I just went around flying through all of the different biomes, and I caught myself a blizz, a basalt, and a blitz, and I have 3 spawn eggs for those, so we're gonna go set them up in the deep dark. I need to grab a bunch of stone, I think. We're just gonna do these, because these are pretty much overworldian. We could do some sort of like cold theme for the blizz. The blitz is kind of like a desert themed, because it normally spawns into desert. I might, actually, I'm gonna go on the wiki, I'm gonna look which biomes these guys spawn in, and we can design the spawner chambers around the biome color. Since we have access to network receivers and transmitters, we can get wireless access in here. We're just gonna shift right click that card over to here. We're gonna put in a wireless transmitter and 4 range upgrades. It's not gonna reach much around here, but it will reach a little bit. And we could essentially, or eventually, set up multiple of these to cover everything in here. But if we head on over to the base and we toss in the network card right into this guy that is right over here, boom. It is gonna say a dimension, and I think it burns 1000 RF per tick normally. So if we go to spawners, like so, we should have wireless access. Yes, we do. So we can easily build around here. Hello, let me fly. And if we grab our spawn blizz, spawn blitz, and spawn basalt's eggs, we can use Certus quartz, which has kind of like a snowy feel. And we can also use snow blocks. And I generally use, 3 types of blocks. One is the one that they drop, which could be Certus. One is a color and another color. So one would be snow, and then some sort of like, we could use white antimatter. Maybe quartz, just regular quartz blocks could work. Yeah, that would do. Or maybe not, diorite is poopy. Yeah, probably quartz and snow and Certus quartz for the blizz. For the basalts, I'm thinking more overworldian style, because these guys spawn in extreme hills most of the times, or mountainy biomes. So just a regular overworldian style would do. And I'm not sure how I want to place these, because spawners from the end, I think it's just going to be Enderman. I don't think I'm going to have anything else going on here. So I'm not really sure where I should put these. I could just put them anywhere. It really doesn't matter, to be honest. So we might just, if I put them in between chunks, it means I have to load more, which is more stress on the server. That's why I've been trying to keep them inside of one chunk. Maybe we can put one in here, and we destructor a little bit more of this space. So let's see, bam. It's a bit laggy, but that's almost enough. Hold on. Bam. Okay, so that should be enough to toss a spawner in here. We're gonna put in possibly the basalts one right here, And we can do the blizzes kind of like on that side maybe. That I think will work. In our storage drawers, I have already added all of the things that we're gonna need to store for all of the 3 spawners, and I have the basalt spawner pretty much set up in the deep dark. All we need to do is give this detector a emit signal when under 100,000. That's 10,000, 100,000, there we go. And we can easily add a redstone transmitter. This one should be the right one. There we go, we can place it down and we can then grab this and flipsy-doodle it around. And we should be seeing basalt rods coming inside of this ender chest. And I have removed the ender tanks since, and I put them on this side with some importers. I don't know if I really showed that on camera, but we're just gonna toss this guy here with a connector. And I might move ender chests around once we have the final amount of ender chests, but we should be... Oh, yeah, we're not seeing things coming in because the spawner's not loaded. But if we come over to the deep dark, we should see it working, hopefully. So here we should be seeing basalts spawning and dropping down. I think I have everything set up over there. It should be dark enough. I hope. Let's give this a test or a check at least. Redstone output, duct power 0, relay power 0. Channel 6, redstone input. I might have messed something up on the other side, but let's just do a one of these plain chunks, and we're gonna click in it and shift left click on it to chunk load it, so we can then head on to the base and see what I messed up. Everything seems fine on this side, and we can set up a brown color here, and we can put a brown right here. So we should see this lamp be on if we set it to output, like so. Cool. And let's go back to the deep dark and see if it's working now that I've loaded both areas. Maybe? Hello? Will you spawn? Is it too bright because of the light downstairs for you guys to spawn? Let's check this again. Duct power. That's not. What gives? It's working now. I am, I think, attracting them a little bit because they can see me. So if we just grab some, not farts, but dark glass, because I missed my buttons. And we cover this all up, we should be seeing everything coming in here. And this is not going to extract anything just yet because we haven't set it up at the base. All we need here is an extract like so, and set to stack and 5, and that should just clean everything up from this as well. What are you? Why were you? Oh, you you had an insert for a second. I was cooking up some thickened glass in my redstone furnace. For more dark glass, but that should be kind of fine. I'm actually gonna need those covers. But yeah, that is now working. We are getting loot crates, basalt rods, and all of that good stuff, and that's just gonna run until we hit 100,000, and that should take a while. And I think this is gonna be the only spawner that I set up in today's episode. We can set up the other 2 in the next episodes. It doesn't really matter. We don't really need them as of this moment, but eventually, we will automate them fully. I managed to get the guest data model to self-aware, and it ran a little bit of times through the polymer clays. So I ran all of the pristine gas matter just through the loot fabricator, and we have a butt ton of gas tiers now. I don't know if I put those in a drawer somewhere, but it really doesn't matter. We can put them in later if we need to automate them fully. For the time being, we have plenty of space on this storage disk. And I think we might even be able to make more disks if necessary. We also have reborn storage. If we do add reborn, we can get into like a 16,000 storage disk, and we can just use one of those for all eternity probably, because most of the stuff is stored in storage drawers anyway, so it isn't going on the disk as well. I also decided to add a network receiver over here with a wireless transmitter, so we have RF access also in here. Refined storage access, not redstone block axes. And we're also going to add another star because we have them to our pickaxe, just so if we have it on us and we die, we shouldn't lose it. I also enchanted pretty much everything with soulbound. I think you can do the same with armor. I think nether stars. Can I grab 4 of you? There we go. And boom, boom. Yeah, we totally can. Okay. That's a nice little nether star dot all around the place. There we go. We should regen our hearts back. Okay. So the plan for today, or the thing we need to do next, is basically I want to open all of these loot crates and have them all constantly be opened, which means that we need some sort of spot where we set this up permanently. And I don't think I want to have it set up over here. So what we could potentially do is we can set up an insert into an ender chest that is going to hold all of the loot crates. And it's basically going to extract them from here because we are going to remove them from the storage drawers once we have the opening of them set up. And we can then basically extract them from the ender chests, like I said, into a separate one. And that's going to go to where we have them being opened. So for that, we're possibly going to need another building. And I don't know if I want to just dedicate one building specifically to this. I don't think it's necessary because the build is basically going to be this. It's going to be an ender chest with a duct going into a loot crate opener and then going with a duct into another chest and then an importer or something that, or maybe another ender chest that tosses everything into the drawers, because I think I have pretty much everything filtered in the trash can that I don't want to keep and everything that I do want to keep in here, and that goes into here, which is then sorted into all of the drawers all around. I don't think we really need to set up a separate building for the loot crate openers. We can put one right here, and if we need multiple, we can add them in the floor here. I don't really think we need a separate building for this. It would be too much work for too little of a thing. So we're gonna grab some XNet cable. We have a wireless thingy over there. Do you connect, if I get a connector like this, will you be able to, you're just connected to the same thing. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. We don't need to run a cable in the back. So that should be all good. Cool. So we can do this. We'll hide it with facades later. And we can do something like this to give you light. And in here, all we need to do is set up an insert. And we're going to whitelist all of the 3 crates. So we're going to grab this guy, and this guy. And we can do a whitelist here with that, and that. And then we can do is we can do priority 1. So we should be getting, yeah, items in here. It's currently filling up with, it has sulfur, I think. That's just what it's gotten from the crates that I've gotten through the mob farm, I think. Yeah, some more crates came in. Still showing just sulfur. Oh, stored items. Yeah, you shift right click. Okay, so now all we need to do is we need to extract into this ender chest. I'm actually gonna go a little bit here and I'm gonna rearrange the ender chests a little bit. I'm gonna add a few more connectors here on this side because we can organize the spawners a little bit better that way. Alrighty, I have the blaze and basalt spawner here on this side, and then there are 4 of the spawners that we have automated: the witch, the enderman, the gold, and the wither skeleton. This is zombie pigman, not the gold spawner. But basically, all we have to do is we have to insert with priority into this guy. I set priority to 2 and 1 to these ones because when I set up another insert for all of these, items keep going into the ender chest because the priority is the same as the drawer controllers. So I think we can just set up another channel here. We can remove that. We don't need the fluids. So we can do an item channel. And all we need to do is extract out of this guy with a stack of 5. And we can insert into both of these drawers. So that should just extract all of the things that can go into the drawers. It's currently showing sulfur, but it has 6,000 something items inside. And that should basically just store the white antimatter, the upgrades that I have right here, which are the kits, the speed upgrades, the energy upgrades, storage upgrades, all of that should go in here. I'm thinking since we have this here, right? This filter, I have a bunch of stuff filtered here. Yeah. Maybe we want to keep some of this stuff, really. I could keep ender chests and toss them in the system, but I think we have I kept a stack of ender chests. I don't think we're going to go through that stack in this playthrough, so I don't think that's really necessary. The other thing that I might want to keep is Bam's Pineapple Pizza. So if we grab... Do I have enough wheat to make one? I sure do. So if we do a bit of bread, I think I need 5 total. We can make Bam's Pineapple Pizza, and if we can then toss this in here, we should be seeing pineapple pizza coming in here, at least, I hope, out of the loot fabricator or loot crate opener. I don't know if this needs to extract all of the stuff that it gets into some place, but I'm gonna actually get another one of these, and we're gonna put a trash can somewhere, possibly right underneath here. But that trash can is going to be simulated by this. We're going to do a trash can right here. And what we can do is we can set up the priority on these to be 1 and 1. And then we can set up a insert over here with priority 0. So we should be seeing things coming in. Why are you putting sulfur? Why can sulfur not... Oh, right. I don't have this connected. Right. Okay. I don't have the... Yeah. I remember now. I removed the connection with XNet to that one. So we need to insert into here from the loot crate opener as well. So we need to find the main input, and we're going to create an insert, and we're going to just do... Hold on. Oh, this is putting all of the things. Okay, that's fine. Oxygen, nitrogen... potassium, carbon, potassium, zinc, rubidium, sulfur for now. And we can do a filter here on the insert. We can put all of these on. And then we're going to set up an extract out of this chest into this chest so we can clean up the backlog and filter all of the things that we want to store. I also forgot I removed this ender chest on the drawer controller with our chemicals. So this is now back, and I'm gonna just spend a little bit of time setting up the filters in here, because currently everything is gonna go into this ender chest. The way I have it set up, it's gonna just filter stuff out of here. I could just manually empty out this chest, but I think I can just let it go and do its thing. Yeah, it only has a little bit of items to go. It's getting a few items every time it gets another loot crate, but I think essentially it should clean up this slowly but surely, I think. Yeah, I think it's doing well. So I'll just spend a bit of time here, filter out the things that we need, and set it up. All right, I have this figured out. I decided not to use a filter in the trash can because we easily can filter right in here, and all we need is 2 channels to extract out of the loot crate opener directly into the trash can with all of the things that we do not want to keep, which are basically all of the lights, the speedy hoppers, the medical kits, the brownstone, and then all of this stuff over here. The rest of the stuff is going directly into the drawers or into this chest, which is currently being extracted out of. And we're gonna set up a little bit of a speeder, a little bit of a faster extract if we can get away with it. We're gonna go here. We're gonna put the transfer pipe here. We're gonna do one of these, and then one of these and these. And that should just clean this up real quick. And if we head on down, I want to put this drawer with all of our chemicals right in here, and that should start extracting all of these loot crates and clean out a backlog of 393,000 of these. So we should be getting a whole bunch of items in here. I don't know if it's going to keep up. Well, probably not with the white antimatter, but essentially anything that goes in here should get filtered out and sorted out like that. We're getting a bunch of nitrogen. Are you getting filtered out? We might have extracted something that filled up the transfer node. Possibly, or maybe I don't have a void upgrade on some drawer. Hello, I'm in here. What is in here? White antimatter. Yeah, that's not okay. So if we do a loot crate, and if we do this, all of this, yeah, just white antimatter. Okay, so we can do a filter, right? We can just grab this one, and we're gonna grab the white antimatter. We're gonna filter it here, and we're gonna say blacklist. So extract everything but white antimatter. And white antimatter should get cleaned up and put into the other drawers from the XNet system. So, because this is hooked up directly to that one, which is holding the white antimatter, that should clean it up from here as well. It is now the next day, and you can see that by us having 100k basalt rods. And this loot crate opener processed the amount of crates that we had to open. So it's just doing its thing now, getting crates as we get them from the mob farm. It is opening them. And in here, we can actually see we have the maximum amount of oxygen, the maximum amount of rubidium, also sulfur. We're getting there on potassium and zinc and nitrogen, and then hassium, caffeine, and magnesium sulfate, and also possibly some other things that we're getting, but I think those are mostly what we get from the crates, carbon as well. But yeah, we're maxed out on bones, on gunpowder, on spider eyes, rotten flesh, sticks, sugar, all of that is all maxed out. But glowstone, redstone, and are still coming in, and also the gold from the pigment. So eventually these will turn off. But for the time being, they're just going to be doing their thing. And we still need to set up this guy and this guy. And I might do that in between episodes if I get some time. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just do it at the start of the next episode to set up one spawner. But for today, to finish off the episode, I think I want to get into some auto crafting. So we need to make a couple of these crafters, right? So let's make... Actually, we just need one, to be honest. And what we're going to do is, this is an open spot. We're going to toss you in here. We need this guy to be normal auto selected, display normal. And that should be all good. And we need to make some patterns. And I need to search that in here. We need to make these kind of patterns. I can actually do them over here. Let's just make 5 is probably going to be fine. But what I want to do is, if we look at reborn storage, we have the crafter multi-block thing. So we're going to need a bunch of basic processors, a bunch of silicon, a bunch of machine casings. So we need a bunch of recipes for all of these things. So essentially, I think I'll just manually make the amount of things that we need to make a giant crafter. Because we're never going to have to make these things again, and we should be good to just auto craft it then. So we're going to do one of these, I'm going to do one of these, and then one of these, which requires speed upgrades. We are getting speed upgrades from our from the loot crates, which is also a really cool thing. So that's just the crafting frame, right? So I did the crafting storage. We need the crafting CPU. We need the crafting storage, and we're gonna need more patterns here. So I need some more quartz enriched iron, which we can get like so. And then we should be able to finish this off. I think this will be a decent starting size. We're going to see if we will need to increase it. It shouldn't be too difficult to do in the future, but the way you build this is you place crafting frames on all of the borders, and then everything else needs to be filled up with heat vents, or no, sorry, heat conductors. And I have a bunch more crafting in here. I think we're going to need, let's say maybe this many more, maybe more, we'll see. But I'm going to fill all of this in. And then what you need to do is you need to add crafting storage and crafting CPUs. And what you basically get from the crafting CPUs is speed. And then from the crafting storage, you get storage space. So I'm going to show you how all of that fits in here in a moment. We need to firstly fill all of these in and then just add the rest of the stuff inside. I think I did my math correctly. We're going to go with 2 layers on the bottom here of crafting storage, and it doesn't really matter how this is layered out, but symmetry is important. It is very important. Totally not in this situation, but it is very important. And in here, we're going to go with another 2 layers of crafting storage. The middle is the 3x3 of CPUs, and then we can put heat conductors like so. And then we just need to hook this up to refined storage somehow, where I don't have any cabling going directly to here. So this guy is providing power to my controller. Is this that's a visible block, right? Yeah. How are we gonna connect this? Possibly under the floor somewhere. We can probably wrangle in a cable somehow in the back here. Well, that's the outside. Right. You know what? I'm gonna be a lazy. person. And we're gonna, before I lock myself in, but a lazy person would not connect this with a cable. We'll connect it with a network receiver transmitter thing and just stick it in the floor. I think if we just put a network receiver right here, we click it with a network card, place that back, and if we place this in here, we should have power to that. So if we look in here, we have a multi-block crafter. And that has plenty of space. I can't really see all of it, but we can just remove this crafter now. Get rid of the speed upgrades, toss that in there. We just need a white antimatter, which we're also full on, which is really cool. And we can just toss everything in here now, just boom, like that. And we don't really need to worry about organization in here. It's gonna craft everything as fast as it possibly can, I think. So that should be wonderful. And this should be a thing. It has plenty. It has 36 pages. I think it's like 1 page per multi-block or per block of storage, I think, because they put 2 times 18, yeah, which is 36. So that will be probably plenty of space for everything that we're gonna need in the future. So now we can start getting in to some crafting recipes for different things, and we can easily automate a bunch of stuff that we need for the future. To also get enough silicon, I put this material stonework factory over here with a bunch of upgrades, and it's currently just making silicon and exporting it into this drawer with 1 upgrade. So this is gonna make just a bunch of silicon in here. I don't have a void upgrade on it, so it's not gonna void anything. And after it's done with the silicon, I'm just gonna set it to glass, and we can just have that as a temporary glass production. I can also put in like sand and gravel if we wanted to. But I think in the next episode, it's time we set up a proper cobbleworks, because I hate running out of glass and sand and cobble and, oh, I'm not running out of cobble, but maybe stone, for example. So all of this we can automate with the material stonework factories. And I think it's time we actually set up another box where we're gonna have our proper machines of sorts, and we need to figure out how big it's gonna be, what kind of rooms are gonna be inside of it, if it's gonna be as big as these 2 things, which are incredibly huge, but it's looking really cool so far. And I realize I have a bit of wall sticking out. This shouldn't be a thing. Whoopsie, this was a mistake. And also this up top here, I think. So this needs to go. But I think that is going to have to be it for today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I am really hoping you enjoyed this episode. And thank you so much for the love and support on my recent post that I made on my community page regards the job that I mentioned at the beginning of today's episode. So thank you so much for that. I'm really hoping you're going to enjoy the slower content, but still content nonetheless. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smash the like button. You can also subscribe to get notified of when new videos go live, and you can support me on Patreon as well if you want to play with me on this server. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.